What? Right. The question. Hello? Hold on. Yep. Yeah? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Alright. Alright. Here we are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, let's just start up. I mean, fuck it, man. Good. So, just gotta open something on my phone real quick. Alright, good. So, I'm just gonna program, and I don't know if anyone is here yet, but I'm just gonna go program and just do my shit, and you can watch, ask me questions, whatever. It's all fine. Anyways, it's time to start this up. So, what I was doing is actually quickly rewriting the entire rendering portion of the game because the old one was crap, and like this is my current load system. I think I'm gonna have to change this. But for now it's fine because now it works, and I kind of rewrote the rendering portion already, kind of for the main menu. So that's all going on. Yeah, hold on, I'm just gonna quickly look. So that's currently what it is. I was actually trying to implement like a little screen at the beginning, which I'm still gonna do. I'm actually going to quickly do that real quick. Disclaimer. I was gonna write a pretty disclaimer. Void render disclaimer. And then I'm gonna say image loader. Is that under the... Yeah, so we're gonna put that under here then. Namespace disclaimer. Just gonna put it under there real quick. And I'm gonna put that in image loader and image renderer under void load disclaimer and void unload disclaimer. And I'm gonna go to the image loader, void load disclaimer, void unload disclaimer. Did I just put that in here as well? I'm gonna change this to render disclaimer. I'm gonna put void load disclaimer and void unload disclaimer. Boom. I currently seem to be live, so alright. Unload disclaimer and load disclaimer. So for the load disclaimer, I'm gonna create a quick image and I'm gonna say disclaimer image, whatever. And I'm gonna put this in the loader. And I'm gonna externalize that, whatever it's called. And let's go here, image loader, and we're gonna say disclaimer is, let me create a folder for that real quick, by the way. Let's create a new folder, disclaimer. And in the disclaimer folder, I'm actually going to create a little disclaimer for the game because I want to do that in this version. Because I actually tried hard coding it in, but that didn't really seem to work, so I'm just gonna soft code it in now. No, I want 480 by 272. And then transparent. And then, well, I'm kind of thinking about this. Yeah, let's go this transparent. And let's just write consolas 16. So I'm just gonna write out a simple disclaimer for the game. Let's try to do that real quick. And I've actually tried hard coding this in, but it didn't work. So hello and welcome to fnaf. God damn it. PSP. And then we're gonna do some fancy shit. Version 1.4.0. Look, that's a fun thing when you write it like this shit. Like, you can give the text different colors and shit. Like, that's fun. This is a fan recreation of fnaf 1 for the PSP. Let's see. And let's make that a bit smaller. Made in C/C++. Perfect. fnaf is a game owned and copyrighted by Scott Coffin. Seems like a reasonable thing. Recreated for the PSP high pos def. Do some fancy pantsy shit. We have some of this bullshit. Line type, red, thickness, very thin. Gosh dang. Look at that, perfect. Like I was made for it. And then we're gonna save as image. Let's consider this the ROMFS graphics menu. Let's call this disclaimer. .png. Image loader. Image loader.c++. Disclaimer is load png ROMFS slash graphics slash. Then where the hell did I paste it in? fnaf 1 PSP. Disclaimer. I already thought so, like what the hell? Disclaimer.png. That's it. Boom, and then we're gonna say free image if disclaimer is not nothing, then we say free image disclaimer. And the reason we'll do this is to make sure that the file exists before deleting it, because that's gonna otherwise gonna cause issues. And let me just actually announce this on my server. I'm not gonna do this the entire time without. Alright, alright. Free image disclaimer, so make sure that the disclaimer is loaded. Then if it's loaded, then we're gonna render it. So we're gonna say if image loader, and I think I already defined it. Yeah, I did. If image loader background disclaimer is not nothing, then we'll pretty much draw sprite alpha 480 0, and then image loader background disclaimer blah blah blah. Then we're gonna put that in here, and then what we'll do is we'll go to the scene builder, namespace disclaimer, and I'm gonna say void load disclaimer void create run disclaimer scene, and I'm gonna quickly put that all in there, nice and easy. Run disclaimer scene is just basically image renderer background disclaimer render disclaimer, boom, that's it. That's all I have to do for that. And then for this one is image loader background disclaimer load disclaimer, and then for the I'm gonna say void exit disclaimer, and for that we're gonna say image loader, background, disclaimer, unload disclaimer, and that's it. Main.c++. Scene builder, main menu, no disclaimer, scene builder, namespace, disclaimer, scene builder, void disclaimer, scene builder.c++, and then we're gonna paste that in there. Make sure that we got that all in there nice and good. Scene builder. And then load disclaimer, run disclaimer, and exit disclaimer. Go to main, scene builder, disclaimer, load disclaimer. For some reason my audio was gone. The entire fucking time. Okay, well, whatever. Load disclaimer. Do I load the disclaimer or not? I don't see anything happening real quick. File not found. Disclaimer.png. ROMFS graphics disclaimer.png. That should exist. ROMFS disclaimer. Graphics. Graphics/disclaimer. Graphics disclaimer, and then it exists. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Reset. Hello and welcome to fnaf 1 PSP version 1. That looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. That actually does look pretty awesome. That's actually pretty cool. Look, we got this beautiful welcome to fnaf 1 PSP screen now. fnaf 1 PSP version 1.4.0. And we can just continue. And there it goes. Ah, that looks sick. That looks very promising indeed. Alright, so we got pretty much the entire menu almost working. Look, this is the old code, by the way. This is the old code. Everything was in this function. It all looked like crap. Oh no, wait, this was the old code, I mean. It all looked like crap. Everything was through each other. Bad function names, everything. And now just tidying it up. And if I quickly run make clean, you can see we now got some more scripts, but like a specific scene builder. And we're going to have a specific image renderer and a loader. Going to cause a lot of issues to basically disappear. Audio effects, disclaimer, specific scripts for the music loading, so you can easily load music files. Just type in some variables and you're done. Like for example, if I go to the scene builder here, music, load music file, menu/music, and then the file type, which is 0 for WAV, and OCL FMT none. That's all you have to do. And then you're basically create menu scene, and then it does this, and then it runs it like this. It's very simple. I'm actually thinking, should I put this in here? I don't know yet. I just know that it looks pretty fucking awesome already. I just find it looks pretty fucking cool. Awesome. I really like how that looks, by the way. I'm actually gonna test it out on my real PSP for 2 seconds, so I can see what it looks like. Because I actually, of course, I need to know that. Like, that's pretty obvious. Now, it's very simple, because to update your new version, like, you're just gonna have to copy the eboot and the ROMFS file. And that should be it. So basically, when I put these things on my PSP, I should actually, in fact, have it working straight away. So there we go. I'm just gonna quickly put this on my PSP because I have to check out if it works properly on the PSP itself. Alright, come on, you're almost there. It's a lot of tiny files, I know. No big issue. Take your time. There we go. So now, in theory, my game on my PSP should now be the remastered version that I'm writing or programming. So I'm just gonna check that out real quick, and I'll be with you guys back in a second. Good. So I'm currently reprogramming fnaf PSP because it's like the old source code was just an ass to work with. I mean, I was trying to get it optimized, but it just didn't work. So I'm just right here currently reprogramming the entire thing. Now I'm just gonna check if it works on PSP. So let me just do that real quick. fnaf 1 PSP version 1.4.0 coming up. It looks awesome. I'm not gonna lie, you can't see it yet, but like, this looks straight up good. This looks awesome. I can't wait till like this version is done because this is honestly gonna be a way better version than the old one. I mean, it's just it's just like that, you know. This looks awesome, and I'm gonna quickly, for now, image renderer. Oh, just say render quickly. Let me see. Copyright, which is the copyright of Scott Calvin. It's gonna be put in the corner real quick. I mean, that's just a nice thing you can do. And then this is the location of the copyright icon. If I'm correct about that, at least. Copyright notice, that's what it is. So, image renderer. No, that's not that one, that's this one. So, basically the copyright notice. Now, I don't know if actually I've loaded that in yet, of course. So I'm gonna go to the image loader, or I mean the scene builder, and then render, uh, image renderer, background, menu, render, copyright. Render the copyright. So basically this is going to be in my image renderer. image renderer, and then it's going to cause us to be easily able to render the copyright thingy. So correct, when I make this and I run this, it's right there. Perfect. Alright, on to the next part, which is void render the buttons. Now the buttons are going to be kind of a different story because I need to actually render those and update those in real time. So I'm going to render the buttons, and I'm going to quickly check out how I'm going to do this, because that is going to be a thing. Why am I making this in? No, wait. I'm not supposed to be making this in here. Fuck. No, you're not going to. You are going to be moved a bit forward a bit. You're going to be moved forward. Then I'm going to remove this line, and then let's create a void render buttons or function. So that should be correct. Image render the buttons. So for the buttons, oh, and of course the stars. So that's going to be interesting because I don't actually have the save system set up yet. And void render stars. Alright, so for the buttons, I'm gonna need a specific way of drawing those. And of course, since I don't have the save script yet, I'm gonna have to quickly clean this all up. I'm gonna have to think if I am going to implement that system yet. I don't think so. So let's go render buttons first. Now what I'm gonna have to do is in here, I'm gonna have to feed an integer button position, which is currently 0. Button position is 0, and then in the image render, I'm gonna have to create an external int button position. So button position is right there. And then I'm gonna have to think about this, because then under the run main menu scene, I'm gonna have to create a function. I'm gonna have to create a function just in general, like an input script or something. So input.c++ and an input.h++, and then I'm gonna have to hashtag include global, and for the input I'm gonna have to hashtag include let me see, input is included / input namespace input. Input is also namespace input. Namespace input. So for the input script, I'm actually going to create a fairly simple thing. So what I have for an idea is that I'm going to check which button has been pressed. And then I'm going to make an std string called button pressed, or button action or something. Button action, let's call it button action. And then in here I'm going to create a function called input function. And this input function is going to make sure that whenever we press any button, it's going to relay that to the other scripts. And that's what we're going for here. So our input script is going to be quickly done like that and done like that. Good. Input. So for the input, I'm going to need a control data thingy. So let me see. because I have this on here. If control data, so we're gonna have to use this one. SCA control data, control data. Let me think. So I have to put the input in here. And let me see. So we're gonna need to get the input function out of this thing. So do I just create a SE control data input function? And then what I do is I return. So I create a variable in there called SE control data, control data. Does it work like that? I think it does. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think that does work. So let me just put that all in there. Go to the makefile. Source slash input dot o file, whatever. And I'm gonna quickly go to our input script. So okay, so for our input script, if I run this make, does that work? It doesn't seem like it. Old decla- oh wait, that does make sense. Because then I'm gonna have to put this in there as well. It does build. That's perfect. It does build, so that's perfect, because that means that when I... So that means that when I use this and I get my control data and then I return my control data, but is that smart? Isn't it better to do an std string input function, input string, let me see. Wait. If I make this a constant character, just like that, and I put that in here real quick. Now, if I'm correct, I might be wrong about this, but if I say this, and then as your control data, if control data dot buttons dot button and PSP control cross, I should, let me see, PSP control cross, PSP control cross. So normally you get your control data from here, and then you read control buffer positive. So basically what I want to check is that when someone presses a button, what happens is it's going to relay this information back to the thing. So if I take this line of code here, I go to my input, and if this button is pressed, then I want to say return cross. So, and then I want to say, so I don't want to return control data, I want to return cross. Literally the word cross. And same goes for the like the circle and you know all that bullshit. So like you have the circle. I don't know if I'm doing this the right way, but like I'm saying, I'm trying to kind of create a simple input system here. It's not going to be very advanced. I'm just kind of playing around with this. Return circle. return square, return triangle. And let's just say we return those values whenever we press any of these things. Main.c++, hashtag included slash input. Alright, so I have to see, so we're gonna have the image render there, but the input is where it's going wrong. So return triangle. Const character is button pressed. Button pressed is cross. And if button press is cross, then button press here is circle, square, triangle. And then we're gonna say return button pressed. Let's see if that does anything special. Invalid conversion from constant to... I think this should do that. Fuck. It doesn't. So then I'm gonna change it to an std string. And just do it like... So wait. No, you're supposed to be gone, and then you're supposed to be a normal character, I believe. Fuck. Input function is a constant character. Wait. And invalid conversion. So why are you complaining about that? Because I just told you that that's not how it's supposed to go. Why are you what? Invalid conversion from constant character to character. F permissive. Where the hell am I making this a constant character? This is clearly an std string. So, okay, so wait, what if I change it to button action? What the fuck? Okay, wait. Constant character input function. Why the fuck are you not just... If control data.buttons and PSP control is cross. Make clean maybe. Maybe I should completely recompile it. See what happens. Let's go. No, it's still complaining about this. Return button pressed. I mean, I could also just say, I could also just do this. I mean, I don't know why I don't do that, but I could have done that all along. I mean, at least that's how I believe it should work. Yeah, look at that bit. Look at that, perfect. So let me create a little void debug, and I'm gonna say std string debug button whatever std count debug button std end line. Okay, perfect. That should just do it just like that. And then we're gonna say return button pressed. But before we do that, we say debug button pressed. I still have to remove this one, but I'm gonna do that later. So now when I open this and I open this, and of course I should actually probably make sure that that code is running. So input function. I should probably actually do this before. There we go. So I'm actually going to quickly circumvent this is by going to my input and then saying if debug button is not nothing, then I want to show it on the debug console, but otherwise I don't, because fuck that. So let's put that in there. Make that if debug button is not, alright, whatever you want, man. If you want it like that, let's do it like that. I don't care. Seem to be responding. But then again, I'm not reading any control data, so I guess that's not even that weird. I mean, see, I'm reading control data here, right here, and then I should probably put that in here. I mean, that seems to make sense, but I don't know why I'm not doing that. So now it should give me cross. Perfect. So now when I press any other button, whatever, I don't care. Circle, triangle, square, cross, circle, triangle, whatever. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to create a little timer for this thing because I don't want your inputs to be so fast that like you literally cannot do anything because otherwise like your game, well, maybe I shouldn't actually do that. No, maybe I actually shouldn't. So let's first off do the main buttons, or like the shape buttons, I guess we could call them. Then let's do the directional, and then let's do the shoulder buttons. So that's what we're going to do. So if MPSP control, and this is probably left, I imagine. Left, right, up and down, I believe. Yeah, left, right, up, down. Left, right, and up, and down. And then we're gonna put these in here. Basically giving us our input feedback. Left, right, up, down. And then when they put that in there, and I run this, and I run this. Perfect. Working. Awesome. And then now for the last two, we're gonna have L and R. So basically, this just L and R. Left shoulder, left shoulder button, right shoulder button, and that should be it. So then this is our input function. We're going to remove this one, button action, and the same in here. We don't need that. And we're just going to quickly make that. PSP shoulder button. PSP shoulder button code C++. PSP control R trigger. Makes sense, makes sense. L trigger and R trigger. Make that clean. Clear the screen and make. Up, down, left, right. Right shoulder button, left shoulder button, square, cross, circle, and triangle. That's perfect. That's all very good looking. So now what I need to find out is basically how am I going to use these button inputs? Because actually, the reason I do it like this, because I want to remove all the bullshit from my other stuff. So, oh, I already know I'm going to do this. Input function, so we're going to go to the menu. So before you can see that here, I'm asking for this. Now instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that. Input function, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if input input function, no, not like that. If this equals cross, then I mean that should actually give me, like, I don't know if that's going to work. I'm actually really uncertain if that's going to work, but I should actually try it out, because why not? It seems to compile, so maybe it will. It works. Bizarre. That's absolutely crazy. That's kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually kind of sick. So we just made our own input function. Now what I should do, however, is create some sort of timer. But for now, I think I'm fine with everything that I've done for today. So what I've done so far is basically reprogram part of the systems. Audio effects is being done. I created a beautiful little music loader system here. So you can play music file, check for playing, whatever, all this kind of bullshit. So load music file, and then you have init music loader, load music file, and then this beautiful function that I've created. And the scene builder, which I'm currently working on. So it's easiest, like you just plop in here what you want to do, and this thing does everything for you. So if you have the namespace main menu, so the main menu has to be rendered. You put all the functions in there, like the render functions, the load functions, the everything, and then it does all of it for you instead of the, let me just show you, mess that this was, like exit. Like I did everything in the same scripts. So for example, now you could say, if you have a namespace, for example, the newspaper, put that in, put that there. Open this up, scene builder. Put it in the scene builder. You do whatever you need to do in the scene builder here. So for example, you say, I don't know, void render or like run newspaper scene, and then you just plop your code in there and you're pretty much done. And you can say void run newspaper scene, and then for example you say like void create newspaper scene. So I'm gonna quickly prepare this, and then we can just put that in our H++ file, scene builder, boom, put that in there, remove that real quick, make it a bit more neat, and then pretty much, yeah, it can be played on real hardware. So you can actually play this on real hardware, yes. This is actually being programmed for the PSP itself. And I can actually show you this, because if I say make, and I go to PPSSPP, PPSSPP, I don't know, it's a weird name. You can actually see right here, I'm actually reprogramming the entire thing. I made it before, but it was trash, so I just decided to reprogram it. And, well, currently we have the splash screen in, or like the disclaimer screen, quickly showing you what this is all about, and then I'm just working on getting the main menu implemented again. So that's what I'm currently working on. So yes, this can be played on real hardware, and it's very cool. Like, I've actually made this before. I can actually show you this, wait. So this is the old version. Let me just grab the old version for you. Let me just make that real quick. And I can actually show you the old version and how trashy it was, especially on the crashing aspects and shit. Like, it was terrible. It was absolutely horrendous. There we go. Let's open this one up real quick. So this was the old version. But it's very slow and it's sloppy and it doesn't really work how I want it to work. But yeah, this is the old version that I'm currently completely reprogramming from scratch, because I was kind of done with the old system. Like, it all works, you know, like it all works. Actually, it all works. If my game wants to load, there we go. So you can see it actually was like a project I did before. So as you can see, so yeah, anyways, I'm just completely reprogramming the thing from scratch, because the old version crashed a lot and it was just like the code was a mess. Like, it was horrendous. What's with these homies dissing my girl? Why do they got a front? Dude, I have no idea who you are. Anyways, I'm gonna pin your message. I pinned your message, man. I pinned it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the stream so far. I'm actually going to eat now, so I'll see you guys later. And thanks for watching. And the next stream we're gonna develop the newspaper and the custom night, everything. We're gonna prepare for the save system, and we're just gonna completely reprogram this together, so you guys can actually watch everything I do on this. At least, of course, I need to have some time to stream, but like, we're gonna create this entire project together. So we're gonna literally build it from the ground up all together. So I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.